YouTube. Please check to make sure you're still subscribed to this channel, as people get unsubscribed from my channel without their knowledge every day. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. You don't want to miss any Rise of Skywalker breaking news this December. To quote Han Solo, here's where the fun begins. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And I have come to the surface, to my surface base here in Austin, Texas, specifically to rendezvous with my friend, my cohort, my fellow YouTuber, the extraordinary, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers. Hail, Jeremy!
What's up, Geeks and Gamers? What's up? Hail Doomcock. Hail Doomcock.
Hail to you, Jeremy.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, sir, future ruler of Earth.
Thank you, my friend. I am absolutely delighted to meet you. It is like I have stepped through the TV screen and I have found myself in a all lost in a wonderland, as it were, of Jeremy-ness. I am sitting in the Jeremy Mobile. It is a Quattro. It is absolutely gorgeous.
The Audi TT.
Audi TT Quattro. It is absolutely a breathtaking machine.
It is pretty cool.
It doesn't have any shark's teeth, skull and crossbones, or fins. So I mean, it's okay.
Drove 10 hours to get here.
It is slick, but you are a machine. You do not fly.
I have flown. I prefer to drive. I flew last year. I flew from Orlando to LA and then LA back to Orlando, and it was fine. It was a good flight, no issues. I don't prefer to fly though. I prefer to have my hands on the wheel. I like to be in control. I'm a control freak.
Yes.
So, and I also like to be able to stop and just go places and do whatever I want. So
I would like to imagine that as a young lad, a just a geek without the gamer, when you were just a geek, or a gee, because you were real small, a gee.
A gee.
You were a gee. You must have seen in my imagination, William Shatner looking out the plane window and saying, "My God, there's a gremlin on the plane. There's a gremlin on the plane. There's a wing on the wing, miss." And then, of course, they haul you away to the booby hatch. Shatner. And so you thought, in your mind, because when you were a gee, I'm sure you spoke like this: "I'm never gonna fly again." That's what I think.
A gee. I have never been called a gee. I love it.
A wee gee.
I love it.
Way back when.
Praise the heavens, Jeremy Osteen is here, and Jeremy Osteen is very thankful for Lord Doomcock. Lord Doomcock, we're going to invite him to the church, the Jeremy Osteen Church, and he is going to help us raise funds because he will be the future ruler of Earth.
And I'm going to get up there at the lectern, and I'm going to talk to everybody in there about the sin and the wages of a sin, and why Star Wars is on the decline. It's because of the godless way that they are forcing diversity upon a story, a narrative, if you will, that should not have any kind of political speech.
Forced diversity. Jeremy Osteen here. Forced diversity does not work unless you're willing to put enough money in the tip jar. And then forced diversity is God's way if there's enough money involved.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Jazz hands.
But otherwise, brothers and sisters, we've got to go ahead and get the force out of forced diversity. You understand? The force cannot be female. The force cannot be male. The force just has to be the force, but not forced.
We need enough force to give Jeremy Osteen a brand new jet, because we only have 7 and we need number 8.
Number 8 is a holy number. a holy number, and you gotta have it a round number. Otherwise, the sky's on abomination. If you only got
Praise
7,
Doomcock.
only
Praise.
7, it's an
Preach.
abomination.
Preach, Doomcock.
Only a loser has 7.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. None of this was planned, by the way. None of this was planned.
I don't know. It's well. Anyway, so my God, man, Bones, you drove all the way, just to meet little old me.
Yes.
Little old Doomcock.
And I am very, very happy. I am.
I'm happy too.
We mentioned this on the video that we made for Geeks and Gamers, but Doomcock, as a campaign promise of sorts, as the future ruler of Earth, has confirmed to me that he will establish a In-N-Out Burger in every major city in the United States. I think this is the most important campaign promise I've ever heard in my life. So for that reason, you will always have my vote, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ain't no valley high enough, ain't no mountain low enough. I wanted to jumble those so as to not violate any copyrights. To prevent an In-N-Out Burger from springing up. But
Now, you had your first In-N-Out Burger today.
this was my first In-N-Out Burger.
because of me. I made this happen.
Because of you. I had driven past it, and I was thinking, no, I do not know of this In-N-Out Burger, and I'm suspicious that it is a trap. And when we went through the drive-thru, he actually confessed to being, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, and that I was the future ruler of Earth. And immediately I got nervous because if there were any SJW assassins in there, well, I mean, it seems very imprudent, but that's why I'm going to be the future ruler of Earth. And even with his great channel, he is not, because he is not sufficiently paranoid.
This is
He's
true.
not sufficiently
This is true.
paranoid.
But once
look
he
at him,
did-
look at him walking around naked, practically naked.
Once he reminded
His
me
face
that
is bare.
Once he reminded me that there could be potential SJWs at In-N-Out, I quickly changed it around and said, "Oh no, I'm not Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. We actually are from the Young Turks."
Yes, he
YouTube
did.
channel. And then suddenly the concerns of a spit burger went away, because I knew that they would not spit in the Young Turks
Yes,
burger.
just call me Jinx. Just call me Jinx. But Jeremy, that is a long drive. What is it about driving, other than there's no gremlins on the wing, that appeals to you? What do you get? Do you get into a mindset? What do you listen to? What do you do?
Yeah, driving it's my happy place. I've always been a fan of cars, always been a fan of racing, and just driving in general, having my hands on the wheel. Especially in this social media internet age, I'm always on the internet because I have such a huge team at Geeks and Gamers. So when I'm driving, I don't really have time. I can't get on the internet. I can't surf Twitter. I can't do a lot of this stuff. The only time that I tell my team, if you need me, just call me if I need to answer. But outside of that, it's just calming and relaxing, and it just gives me time to focus and think and kind of free my mind of all the stresses I have. And it's a relaxing kind of thing for me. I love driving so much. I love it.
That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I despise driving because down the center of the earth, there's no roads. So I mean, right there, that sucks. And you're driving around, and lizard people like shoot arrows at your car, and the dinosaurs roar and try to chase it. And it's kind of like in Jurassic Park. Well, we know, right? We know what that's like. Objects in the mirror appear closer than they are, or vice versa, whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, it scares the hell out of you when you see a dinosaur charging at you in the rear view.
Well, like, I'm not I'm famously known for, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, I don't do a lot of that stuff. So it's just, this is me. Just, I love driving. I like stopping in new places, just experiencing things, and it's just a very calming, relaxing thing for me. So yeah,
I'm amazed.
I'm a different cookie.
But the traffic, I hate traffic. The traffic drives me insane. When you're stuck in a traffic jam, it is the worst goddamn feeling.
Oh, I hate it.
I go insane. I climb the walls.
I'm one of these people that I will go out of my, so if there is like traffic, if you're in town and there's traffic, I will go out of my way to go around it and maybe spend more time to get to where I have to go, as long as I'm moving, though. I can't stand to sit still. And I think that's just kind of representative of how I am as a person. Like, I don't like to sit still. I could never have an office job or anything like that. I'm always have to move around. That's how I am. high metabolism, always active. So, but according to John Campea, I'm a cousin humping man baby that sits in the basement all day like you. So.
Cousin humping man baby. Well, is she hot?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
hey, I'm from Alabama, so we don't really have a big standard there. I mean, if she's hot, she's your cousin, go for it. Right?
I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, God knows Game of Thrones is good enough for Jaime Lannister. It's good enough for the likes of us, we peasants here on the surface.
That's right.
All right, so this coming year, what do you think? What are your predictions? Look into your crystal Geeks and Gamers ball. What are we going to think about Ruse of Soywoker once it drops? I mean, are they going to be able to pull out anything on this thing? Is there any act of redemption you think is possible? I will just say I don't think so. I don't think it's possible for them to redeem it. The only question is, how badly will that particular lame, blind, deaf pooch get sodomized?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because they've lost everybody at this point except for the crazy people that won't support them in the long term anyway. I mean, you're sitting here right now with someone who, everybody knows I was a fan of The Force Awakens. I retroactively admitted that movie was a huge issue, and whenever you have a movie that needs the second movie to justify its plot holes, it's not a good movie. It's just not a good movie. So I say, like, a lot of times I bring up Spider-Man 2, Tobey, and Spider-Man 3 wasn't that great, but it didn't affect the greatness of Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man 2 is a great movie on its own. But Force Awakens was not. Force Awakens needed the second movie to justify the plot holes and the unanswered questions. The point I'm getting at is I was someone that was a supporter of The Force Awakens. You clearly hated it from the beginning.
From the poster.
And both of us are in the same boat at this point. Disney has lost any support and all support at this point. They've pissed every single person off. And they are not going to do anything but piss people off more with bringing Palpatine back. Regardless of how it happens, I don't think that there's any way to dispute the fact that Palpatine is going to die by the hands of Rey.
It's
going to happen.
It's got to. And
it's bullshit. And it's going to piss everybody off. Kill the past, let it die, unless we need new movie tickets. Kill the past, let it die, unless we need to retroactively bring a white male back to let the Whammon kill him. Kill the past, let it die, unless we want to bring Solo back so we can give you our soy boy version of Lando and Solo so we can try to rewrite history. What they're doing is so offensive on so many different levels to the Star Wars mythology. Nothing The Rise of Skywalker can do at this point is going to be successful. This is a dead franchise in terms of the fandom, the respect for the mythology, and the respect for George Lucas's creation. I think The Rise of Skywalker is nothing more than the final nail in the coffin, and that's exactly how I'm looking at it.
I don't think there's any way that they can retcon it at this point. I mean, even if they go back in time, even if, as in the purported Iger version of this thing, that Luke Skywalker and Anakin walk in the flesh, according to that source, what they told me, and fight Palpatine. But then it was not clear from my source whether Emperor Palpatine then kills them again, and then Rey stomps his ass. I mean, surely they're not going to have Luke come and kill him. I don't know. And who's the secret Skywalker if that, again, that's a rumor. But it is what I was told. What would be the case with the secret Skywalker? I mean,
I can't even.
In Rose Tico, it's got to be. It's got to be Rose Tico. It's got to be a Whammon, don't you think?
I mean, if it's going to be a Tico, can it at least be the hot one? Can we bring her back from the dead from Last Jedi, the hot one that died? In all honesty, I mean, Kelly Marie Tran's actually a really pretty attractive lady until Ruin got her in a potato sack, and I mean, it's just that. But that's how they view women. They don't think women can be attractive. They don't think women can be sexy.
That's sexist.
Yeah, that's how they. That's
sexist.
But, yeah, the secret Skywalker thing. God damn.
It's like secret sauce, only less savory.
What the fuck is wrong with these people, Doomcock? What is wrong with them?
Well, if as alleged, George Lucas came up with this idea of a secret Skywalker, it's kind of like, what the hell else are you gonna do? They dig themselves in such a hole that, you know, George Lucas just trying to find some way to score a last act that isn't a 4. A 4. I mean, you know, and if that stuff is true, it tested at like 88, which is, you know, pretty decent score.
Yeah.
But it is so phony. It's so phony. It's not organic filmmaking. There was no plan. There was no inspiration. All it is basically, you know, CYA, cover your ass filmmaking, where here we're going to try to find something that doesn't make heads explode and projectile vomit fly in theaters across this great land of ours.
We are dealing with...
And China for 3 days.
Yeah, for 3 days.
For 3 days.
Until
they ban it.
Yeah, exactly.
And declare war.
It's again... I don't know how anybody can justify the failure of Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know how there's people out there that are still trying to justify it. We don't criticize her because she's a woman. We criticize her because she is a terrible leader in every single aspect. It is a fireable offense for any executive to allow a production to go 90% through the process before you decide to do your job, like she did on Solo. 90% done until you decide, hey, let me see what's going on this multi-$100 million production. Oh, they're not doing what I want. Let's fire everybody involved.
Yeah.
Balloon the budget to double what it should have been. What? That is beyond comprehension.
Corporate malpractice.
Yeah, and that's not even adding, and of course these are things I talk about on my channel, that's not even adding the fact that this woman has had creative problem after creative problem after creative problem with everybody. And out of the reports we've heard, the only person that seemed to understand the Skywalkers and Star Wars was Colin Trevorrow. He's the only one based on the reports we heard. And we've heard reports that he had a creative battle with Rian Johnson about killing off Luke Skywalker, because his vision for 9 included Luke and Leia being honored and having some type of storyline, and that was the big problem. Now again, this is all reported, but it's a rumor, and I know people get scared of rumors, Doomcock.
Right,
it's a very scary thing these days. But that was the rumor, that Colin Trevorrow was fired. And I'm not the biggest Colin Trevorrow fan. I don't like Jurassic World 2 is dog shit.
It is.
I didn't love Jurassic World 1. I didn't hate it either, but it was kind of like
it was really a waste of time.
Yeah, but if you've seen how he treats the fans in terms of their criticisms, he respects the fans and he respects the criticisms and he appreciates that. And that's really all we ask. I can't make you a good filmmaker, and I can't make you execute your stories properly. But if you're willing to at least listen to my criticisms like a grown-up, I can't hate you. I can't be mad at you because you're just not great at something in my subjective opinion. But when I see someone like Colin Trevorrow respect the fans for their criticisms and things like that, I look at his behavior and then I look at Rian Johnson's behavior, and it just makes me appreciate him. And it makes me go, yeah, I can see exactly why Colin Trevorrow was fired, because he's not willing to call fans racist and sexist for criticizing him. He's willing to listen and say, thank you, I'm going to learn from this. And that is clearly not the Lucasfilm way. The Lucasfilm way is, if you're criticizing our terrible work, you must not like women.
Oh, that's right.
You must be racist.
And there seems like there was active dislike of Luke Skywalker throughout the halls of Lucasfilm. There was active dislike and an active agenda to go ahead and minimize him, cast him aside, discredit him. I think that, Kathleen Kennedy once again came out, like, making a big point about, the Lucasfilm Story Group, and most of the people making these things are women. This is a point of pride with her. So, that's the thing with The Mandalorian. Even in The Mandalorian, his boss is a woman, right?
Yep.
So his boss is a woman.
Based on what we've seen in episode 1.
Yes.
So
look at what we've got here. We have got The Force Awakens, where the most importantest woman ever is Rey.
Ever. Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
Jazz hands. Yes, Queen. So we've got that. We've got Jyn Erso in Rogue One. Woman, the most important woman ever there. We have got Solo, a movie about Han Solo, where Han Solo gets pwned not once, not twice, 3 times a lady pwns Solo in his own movie in one scene, dude. In one scene, the Khaleesi owns his ass and gets the best of him. So and the big baddie in that, when they remove their helm, it's a teenage girl.
Yep. And don't forget Iden from Battlefront 2. She was the lead in Battlefront 2 for the campaign. Lead female in that video game. And she started out in the Empire, and then she eventually, within a few scenes, flips to the rebellion. So
that is political.
And I remember,
that is political. They're making it Disney princess centric.
And I'll never forget this. This is before I spoke out against Lucasfilm, before I publicly went after them, because I had my own private feelings on it, but I wasn't willing to speak out on it. But I was at Star Wars Celebration in 2015. This is before The Last Jedi came out, and I was at the Battlefront panel, and this is when they were announcing Battlefront 2. And at that point, I didn't know anything about Battlefront 2 other than we saw the trailer where they were going to incorporate the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy in the original trilogy. So that excited a lot of fans. Like, oh yes, all right, they're bringing the sequels to the prequels and the original. We can play all these characters, and that was exciting. But before the panel started, I'll never forget it. Some lady stood up on stage, and they said, "Attention, everybody! Do we have any girl gamers in the room?" And there's like hundreds and hundreds of people in here, and you hear like 3 girls go, "Woo!" I mean, it was just like, and I'll never forget it. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, really? A gender-specific question at a video game panel? And then the reveal of Iden, which I'll be honest, Iden's not a bad character. Iden's actually a pretty cool character. If I'm looking at all the Disney, female characters, I would say Iden's probably my favorite. And there's not, you don't get a lot from her, but I think she has the best story and the best arc, which is minimal compared to all the others. But that's not the point. The point is, every movie, every video game, every single lead has some type of woman, and that is not anti-woman. That is us saying it, calling it out is not anti-woman. It's anti-forced diversity. This is right. Kathleen Kennedy literally sat there at this all-women's press conference, and this woman interviewing her, which the woman was hot, by the way, and I want to give respect to the hot woman.
You gotta give respect to hot women all the time.
Not Kathleen Kennedy.
No.
But the woman that was interviewing her asked her about what is the difference in you being a woman in power, and she goes, "It means I can sit in a meeting room and decide that the lead protagonist is a female." She literally said it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how you create your protagonist. That's not how you create stories. That's not how you do it. It shouldn't be based on gender. It shouldn't be based on identity politics. It should be based on what complements the story.
Yes.
Simple as that.
110%.
But that's not where we're at with current Hollywood and Lucasfilm.
No, it used to be that, I have a great story to tell. Now it's I have a great piece of propaganda to peddle. Yep. That's basically what it is at this point, folks. This is where we have come to. But we are united.
Damn right
we are on the front lines of this battle, even though changes at YouTube are vexing and may be leading us to a YouTube apocalypse. I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube, honestly, but we're facing it together. We are allied. Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, Geeks and Gamers, other channels like, everyone in the Fandom Menace, really, too many to even name because we're growing that quickly. We are united and committed to fighting this scourge. And if they drive us away from YouTube, it will be on some other battlefield, but it will continue. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a time right now to support, all of your favorite creators on all the platforms that they're on, whether they have Patreon, whether they have Subscribestar, whether they have a website like myself or like Nerdrotic does. This is a time where your support is more impactful than ever before, because none of us knows what's going to happen with YouTube. We really don't know. We want to sit here, like, the thing about us is that we don't mind rules and we don't mind guidelines, but when they're so vague that you don't understand them, and then you're being punished for things that you don't understand, it's pretty much bullshit. And that is a problem, and that's a problem that YouTube has been operating under for a while now, and it just seems like it's going to the next level. And they do this intentionally. They do the vague rules intentionally. They leave it open for interpretation for a reason. We're not dealing with dumb people here. They know what they're doing. But it's tough for us. So this is why we need the support from, all of you now more than ever. It's more crucial than ever before. So.
Absolutely. So please do consider supporting us. Subscribe to Geeks and Gamers. Subscribe to Doomcock. Overlord DVD is my name of my channel. And we are just going to march ahead. And what ahead we're facing is Ruse of Soywoker. And it's going to be a hell of a ride. So I hope you will stick with us on it.
Well, Doomcock, I appreciate you having me on your channel.
I am delighted. Thank you for driving.
And congratulations on all the success you've been seeing lately. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, my friend. You helped very much with promoting my video, and I appreciate it. And
I picked a good one to give you a shout out, because that video got like 150,000 views, so it definitely, I know it puts a few your way. But it was your topic, so you're the only reason I was able to cover that topic. So it did really well. Gave you a big shout out, pushed some subs your way, but you were already killing it before I gave you the shout out. So I'm glad I could help you.
I very much appreciate it, my friend.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers has joined us here today. And from the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock in the flesh, more or less, bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.